Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape over the past few seasons, you know that the Kansas City Chiefs have been a dominant force, especially with Patrick Mahomes leading the charge. Year after year, we've seen this team redefine what it means to be a high-powered offense in the modern NFL. Since Mahomes took over as the starting quarterback, the Chiefs have become synonymous with explosive plays, creative schemes, and a winning mentality that's hard to beat. And remember, this isn't just talk. The Chiefs have made 3 straight Super Bowls, winning 2 of them, and have established themselves as perennial contenders, thanks in no small part to Mahomes' incredible talent and Andy Reid's innovative offensive strategies. But as exciting as that ride has been, the NFL never stands still. Every year, teams are looking for that extra edge, that small tweak that could elevate them from good to great, from playoff contender to Super Bowl champion. And in recent times, the Chiefs have started stirring the pot, considering moves that could push their already elite offense even further. One such move, which has been making waves among fans and analysts alike, involves the potential addition of a young, talented tight end named Kyle Pitts. Now, Pitts has been a bit of a mystery in Atlanta, where his career has been somewhat underwhelming compared to what many expected coming out of the 2021 draft, where he was considered a generational talent. But don't let that fool you. Pitts' physical tools, his athleticism, and his raw talent are undeniable. He stands 6'6", weighs around 245 pounds, and runs like a receiver, truly a mismatch nightmare for defenses. You see, Pitts has been used inefficiently with the Falcons. Atlanta has struggled to find consistent offensive schemes that maximize his potential, even with a quarterback like Desmond Ridder trying to get him the ball. For whatever reason, the coaching staff hasn't fully unlocked what Pitts can do, and that's led to ongoing trade rumors. In fact, there's been chatter about the Falcons possibly moving him because they're in a bit of a rebuild, and they could be looking to recoup some draft capital. So, the question that's been bouncing around among Chiefs fans and insiders is whether Kansas City should make a splash and try to land Pitts, who could be a perfect complement to the existing receiving core. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Adding a tight end already on a Super Bowl-winning team might seem unnecessary, especially when the Chiefs already have Travis Kelce, who's been nothing short of revolutionary for their offense. Kelce is the ultimate security blanket for Mahomes, a guy who can line up anywhere, catch anything, and make the impossible look routine. But here's the thing, Kelce isn't getting any younger. The rumors about his retirement are floating around more frequently, and while he's still playing at an elite level, it's only logical for the Chiefs to start planning for the future. Pitts could serve as that future number 1 tight end, not just as a replacement, but as an upgrade in some aspects. His athleticism and versatility could open up new schematics for Reid, allowing them to diversify their attack even further. Think about it. Pitts' ability to stretch the field, to create mismatches against linebackers and safeties, could turn the Chiefs' offense into a nightmare for defenses. Imagine Mahomes, with all his improvisational genius, having Pitts as a primary option in the red zone or as a big play threat on the outside. It's the kind of move that could make the Chiefs even harder to defend, especially when you consider how defenses have been trying to keep Kelce in check. Adding Pitts would force opponents to double him, freeing up other weapons like Skyy Moore, Rashee Rice, or even the emerging Marvin Mims. Now, let's talk about the trade itself. The consensus among some NFL insiders is that a mid-round pick, perhaps a second-rounder, could be enough to pry Pitts away from Atlanta, especially if the Falcons are eager to move him and rebuild with draft capital. The Chiefs have plenty of ammunition, with multiple picks in this year's draft, and they've shown a willingness to spend those assets when it counts. The idea of acquiring a player of Pitts' caliber isn't just about boosting the offense for this season, it's about planting a flag for the future. If Pitts can be integrated effectively, he He could be a cornerstone for the next era of Chiefs football, especially if Kels decides to hang up his cleats in the coming years. Of course, there are risks involved. It's not just about acquiring talent, it's about fitting that talent into an already complex offensive scheme. Andy Reid's offense is intricate, and it takes a special player to adapt quickly. There's also the question of how Pitts would handle the transition, both mentally and physically, to a new team and system. Some players need time to adjust, and there's always the possibility that a trade might not work out as hoped, especially if Pitt's production doesn't immediately match his potential. But the potential upside is enormous. Think about how this move could energize the entire offense, giving Mahomes yet another reliable target and boosting the team's chances to repeat as champions. It could also serve as a statement to the rest of the league that the Chiefs are not content with just maintaining their dominance. They want to push even further. Plus, it would be a message to the AFC West rivals, especially teams like the Denver Broncos or the Los Angeles Chargers, that Kansas City is willing to make bold moves to stay ahead. And speaking of the division, the AFC West has been evolving rapidly. The Chargers have made some interesting additions to their roster, and the Broncos have been trying to rebuild an offense that can challenge the Chiefs' supremacy. The Raiders, well, they're in a bit of a rebuild mode, but they always manage to surprise us. But the key to maintaining their edge has always been their offense, and Mahomes' ability to adapt, improvise, and find the open man. Adding Pitts could be that extra piece that elevates their attack to an even higher level. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture. The Chiefs' front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive in the past, whether it's trading draft picks, signing big-name free agents, or making bold trades. Their track record under GM Brett Veach has been impressive, and they've always prioritized maximizing their window of contention with Mahomes. This potential Pitts trade fits perfectly into that philosophy, offering a blend of immediate impact and long-term planning. Plus, from a fan perspective, it's impossible not to get excited about the idea of seeing Pitts in red and gold. His highlight reels from college are jaw-dropping, catches in traffic, acrobatic grabs, and the kind of athletic feats that make defenses shake in their boots. Imagine what he could do with Mahomes' creativity and Kels's mentorship. It's a recipe for fireworks, and Chiefs fans would be buzzing non-stop. Now, I want to emphasize that this is still speculation, and there are hurdles to clear. The Falcons might ask for more than just a second-round pick, especially considering Pitt's talent and the fact that he's still relatively young. The NFL trade market is unpredictable, and sometimes deals fall apart at the last minute. But the fact that there's real interest from the Chiefs makes this scenario worth watching closely over the next few weeks. It's the kind of bold move that could define the franchise's future and set up Kansas City for a new chapter of dominance. And let's not forget, the Chiefs aren't just about making one move, they're about building sustained success. They're always looking for ways to innovate to stay ahead of the curve. Bringing Pitts into the fold, especially if they can do it without giving up too much, could be that game changer. It would also send a message to the league. The Chiefs are still hungry, still aggressive, and still committed to winning championships. So, Chiefs fans, what do you think about this potential move? Is Pitts the missing piece that could push your team over the top, or do you think it's too risky? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your opinions. And remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more news from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, let's keep supporting our boys in red and gold. The best is yet to come, and with Mahomes at the helm, the future's looking brighter than ever. And now, Kansas City Chiefs fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Kansas City Chiefs. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Kansas City Chiefs news.